How are we doing tonight, guys? Donnie's been trying to tell us something for the last 10 minutes. And I said, you know what? It's so good. We got to do it live. But
it wasn't good.
Well,
you interrupted him twice. I'm dying on the floor. You killed us both.
See, that's why we got to start filming these before the show, podcast before the show. Maybe then my intros will be more conducive. But we are back with you. And I don't really think we have a good 10 minutes, but that might be all right because we got a lot of lineups to build. We got a lot of things to talk about, some injuries. I think the NFL is really heating up. We're at a pivotal point, and not only the NFL, but like DFS. And I think now is almost where we got to put our thinking caps on. And so, we'll get to these spread picks, and I think that will reveal a lot about what we think about this week. But then even as we build lineups, I think some plays are very obvious, but I think you have to go about it a bit of a different way this week, and I'll explain why later on in the show. But how are we doing, Evan, Donnie, Gov?
Pretty good, pretty good.
I'm not doing good anymore.
Oh my God, I'm dying. I love you, Logan. I hate you. You hate Donnie clearly, but I love you, Logan.
First time I'm not joking. The first time you did that to me, I was like, "Oh, look at this bastard! God damn it!"
The balls on the second one. My God, the stones, Logan. The stone.
Part of me was bad, but I just
pick up
couldn't
those
do it.
stones with 24-inch pythons. Oh my God!
So my apologies, Donnie. My apologies. Donnie was about to say something, but I wanted to I want to save all the goodness for the people, and so I want to get onto this show as quickly as possible, so we have plenty of time to build the lineups, plenty of time to talk about these spread picks. But my condolences, Donnie. What I'll do is I'll give you the first pick tonight on the spread picks as a condolence.
No, let me pick a quarterback in our first round.
Nah, you might be getting too pricey now. Who do you like this week, though, from a game?
Well, for our group spread, do we just want to jump right into spreads?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get the spreads done. Yeah.
All right, let me get my random number generator up so we can get this going. We're going to go from 69 to 169.
1.
No, it starts at 69. It starts at 69.
I thought you said 1 to 69.
No, it's 69 to 169.
Oh. 99.
121.
All the ones.
And then there's me. 69 dudes.
He still did it. I just wanted to see if he would.
Of course I would.
145.
Mm.
You expected the man to change his position?
I did. I was literally the experiment there. I thought maybe he would think there's no way.
69 is clearly his number.
He's going to do it every time. I might just eliminate him next time.
But then that won't be fun.
And DFS is supposed to be fun, right?
All right. So that makes it me, Gov, Logan, and Evan. So the group spread today is going to be the 49ers at 9.5. Who wants to take that and explain why?
I shouldn't be the one to do it, and that's for obvious reasons you'll get to later, but...
All right. Go ahead.
All right.
Why not?
I mean, the line has moved a lot, and the sharp money is honestly on the Niners because they're just so good. I personally think this is more of a coin flip, but it's also very tough to not see the Niners just they're straight up should win this game with PJ Walker on the other side. No Nick Chubb, no Deshaun Watson. This Browns team is inevitable to collapse. Excuse me.
Thanos is about to snap him.
Yeah.
I personally don't think the 49ers put up 30, which really scares me with a 10-point spread.
Here's
But
the thing, though.
they could still win this game 24-3.
The line is, or the over-under, is 36 in this game.
Yeah, it's very tight.
They do not expect this to be, a high-scoring game by any means.
Cleveland only has like a 13.5-point total in and of themselves. And I could see them hitting the under. Like, I honestly could see this game going full under. But, like I'll take the shot on, like, the Niners being a good enough team to cover. Now, I will say if the weather looks worse than it does, where it's just going to be like some rain and some light wind, if it starts to get super windy or torrential downpours throughout the game, then I 100% opposite on this. So this is a really tough game. But I think it's a good one to target because, like, right now, the sharp money that I see, and like sharp is bettors that I track that are decent ROI guys. That sharp money, like, it likes the Niners. It's what's bet the Niners up to -9.5. But
and they should be that high, honestly.
Yeah. But there aren't any huge bets on this game, so that's the other thing. There's sharp money on the Niners, but there's no big money, so no one's taking a large step with this game.
Yeah, and I'm not sure I agree with that either, because the 49ers, one of two teams that are 5-0 right now, and the Cleveland Browns defense has been brilliant in a couple of their games this year, but then they turn around and then they get beat last second by the Steelers and then curb stomped by the Ravens. Ravens
games.
Yeah, and the Ravens offense I'm not even that impressed with, so I don't see why Christian McCaffrey can't just curb stomp that Browns defense, even with Myles Garrett out there.
He could, but I do like, and there was too many points with the backup quarterback. I get it, but I will say Jim Schwartz does have a unique blitz package, and I will say Brock Purdy hasn't been blitzed very effectively. So it is an interesting matchup. It's like, do you actually believe Brock could be better against the blitz, and that's why no one blitzes him? Or is it because he hasn't really faced a mastermind like Jim Schwartz? So I do think there's some interesting. We're about to find out a lot of things,
Yeah, I don't think that even matters, because I think that they're just going to run the ball all over the Browns, and they're still going to struggle to stop McCaffrey.
I think the reason why they're not getting blitzed against is because they're so worried about McCaffrey that blitzing might be a bad thing.
It might be. That's what I'm saying. But one thing we know, and you can even ask Donnie, or not Donnie, I mean Evan, is Jim Schwartz does what he wants, almost to a fault.
So, it's the same as who's the Chiefs defense coordinator? Dang it, why is the name slipping? You know who it is, though. Everyone knows him. He's a mastermind on defense. He's gonna blitz you no matter what. So.
Well, and it's worked for Jim Schwartz in his career, so I can see why you wouldn't go away from him. He's obviously got the horses for courses, with that defense, with that style. So that's what I'm saying. I really do believe this week is going to be pivotal. Why don't we get on to some other picks, though, because I really do think there's a lot of good matchups.
I don't even want to spend much time on my first pick because I just definitively think it's an easy one, and I'm trying to steal it from Logan before he gets it. Lions -3 seems criminal. They're definitively better, I think, than Tampa Bay. I know Tampa Bay has a good offense, and they'll probably be able to, make this Lions defense bend. But Amon-Ra's back. First game, is it the first game with Amon-Ra and J-Mo out there together?
Yeah.
This season, but they've only played like 5 in the whole career. That's
right. Like, it hasn't been much, and it's gonna be,
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a bloodbath. And I don't. Do you guys think the -3 is enough? Because it just feels weird, like weirdly low.
I think I have to agree with you on that one, Donnie, because the Lions I think they're a better team than what this line is giving the Lions credit for. Because the Buccaneers, while, yeah, they're still going to have Mike Evans getting some good catches along with Godwin, they still have some pieces that are going to do well, but This Lions defense, sure, the secondary is beatable, but I don't think it's going to be a close game at all.
I think the only reason it's closer than some people think is because it's in Tampa, and the narrative around Jared Goff is he doesn't play very good when he's outside of a dome.
I don't buy that.
But it's Florida, dude. He's not going to be bad in Florida unless it's like a tsunami.
It's just if you look at his sports, he doesn't do good so much outside. You know, some people point to a small hand.
Oh boy, please get to my pick. Please get to my pick. Please get to my pick. Please get to my pick.
Let's just, yeah, all right, Gov. Let's just move on. Your pick.
I'm taking Tampa +3. This looks like an absolute shootout game. Tampa has been quite good efficiently offensively and defensively. Like, Detroit looks good. I feel overs in this game. I like all of that, but I think it's close. If not, Tampa can actually outright win. So I'm going to go against you, Donnie. I'm taking Tampa +3.
Like I said, I need to catch up anyway.
It's fine. You'll either catch up or things will keep going my way.
I don't know. They'll keep going. You haven't
Like,
exactly.
I was about to say, like, this is one of those things where, like, there's money on Detroit. You have the money on your side, but not the sharp money. Just like the dumb money.
It's true. They do.
And dumb money wins sometimes. I can be wrong. I like this. May like the +3 -3 says it's probably a coin flip.
So you're calling my bet dumb. All right.
No, I'm saying this is a coin flip that I'm going to take the other side of. I think everything says there's no reason to not take Tampa. If you were taking the money line on the game, I would take Tampa because they'd have the better money line. If you're taking just the over-under, I'd take the points. That's just my thought on this game. I think the smarter bet is the Tampa bet. It might not win, but I think it's the smarter bet in my mind. And I will take it.
But I've been low on Tampa like from the start, and maybe that's my bias. Just like,
and I'm not super high on Tampa myself. I'm a Carolina fan, but like I do understand. And my whole point is I think this is shootout. And if it's a shootout, I think Tampa can keep it close. And like,
well, they can still lose by 4.
I'm not worried about the home road splits. Like, Goff has played Tampa twice in his career. Both times were like when Brady was on Tampa, so maybe skewed because of that. But like he averages 450 yards against Tampa Bay. And that includes a game in Tampa Bay where he threw for like over 400 yards. So this has the ability to shoot out. And I think it's sneaky in that way. And I like the Bucs to actually keep it close or maybe even outright win.
No, I'm with you on the take that the Jared Goff, home road sports are a bit of fool's gold here.
I will still look at them. I'm not always looking at I prefer the Baker side than the Goff side. But I know Goff can chuck it in Tampa, so it's not like I expect him to not be able to.
And weirdly enough, both teams have become a lot healthier than they were a couple of weeks. Like we got Mike Evans back now. You got Amon St. Brown back. We mentioned Jameson Williams is getting more and more work. They mentioned his snap count should go up this week. So we should see a lot more explosion from this. Samuel Porter was on injury report earlier in the week, but apparently that was just a maintenance thing because he was heavily relied on when St. Brown was out. So they were just giving the rookie a bit of a they don't want him to hit the rookie wall, so they were just giving him a bit of a kind of a precursor to, hey, we don't want you to fatigue, so we're going to give you some time off now. We're going to control your time. So I'm with you. I think the game could score a lot of points.
Logan, you know the line better than me. Isn't it weird? I feels like that Laporta's getting more work in that offense than Hawkinson ever did.
I would tell you that Laporta fits more with what Dan Campbell wants to do. Dan Campbell always believed that you should be able to catch the ball and block. And he always praised Hawkinson's blocking ability, but hated that Hawkinson, what he felt like, didn't concentrate on catching the ball enough.
He catch a guy?
What's that?
Minnesota? Doesn't he catch like almost 8 passes a game in Minnesota?
he gets targeted that much. Now he does have lapses where like he looks like he disappears sometimes. So like Hawkins,
I don't watch Minnesota really, so I wouldn't know.
Hawkins is very hit or miss, and I think that's what drove Campbell nuts. It's my pick, right?
Yes, sir. Go for it.
I haven't really looked at the line this week too much, actually. So I'm going to take a quick look at the line here.
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
Oh, this is this is easy for me. Give me the Falcons -1.
Oh, I wanted that pick.
I was hoping that might come back to me. Honestly,
I think the Falcons are just a much better team. They obviously care about the season still. They think they can win because whether you actually think Van Jefferson is good or not, they gave up a draft pick for a current player. That tells you that they're trying to improve, that they're trying to like bolster their offense. It might not be a huge move, but like, that tells you that they're not selling at the deadline, if you will.
Was that a depth move though? Like it could have just been they needed an extra body at receiver that they
don't just need, but that's the thing is they don't just need a body, they need a player. And now you could say that they don't have very many receivers, and that's a problem that Van Jefferson would come in and be an upgrade, but I think he would be. But I'm saying more philosophy standpoint, Donnie, when you give away draft picks for players, that tells you that
they gave up a very late draft pick and still got a pick back, didn't they?
Yeah.
It was like a 2026 7 or something.
Yeah.
No. They were both 2025 picks, but like they swapped a 6th for a 7th and got Jefferson. So they moved back one round and got Jefferson.
I'm just saying, like, whenever you're trying to improve something where you obviously are kind of like people have been saying that the Falcons' offense, especially their passing game, was holding them back. I do like it when you address that in season.
Oh, I would 100% agree. It was the right move, especially with such a young quarterback. You don't want to completely kill him, confidence-wise.
So I just think the Falcons are a lot better than the Commanders. I think the Commanders are like a bottom 5 team.
I think Ron Rivera's kind of lost that locker room, and he's kind of a player's coach. So when that happened,
if you bet on first coach fired, Ron Rivera would be my pick.
And wouldn't it be some shit if the Falcons decided to start hucking that football downfield because they watched the Bears do it on last Thursday and go, hey, well, we don't have to run on these guys. They can't stop the pass.
That's kind of what they did last week when they got Kyle Pitts. They got London, his normal volume. He still saw 9 targets.
Exactly.
And then Van Jefferson, like I'm saying, it's not about the player. It's more about the philosophy. They're telling you, hey, we're not ready to give up on this pass game.
But might as well see everything that Ritter can give you right now.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's what they're
figure out if he needs to be replaced.
Trade him for Cousins.
Evan, what's your pick?
That clause.
Yeah, Evan, give us your pick.
All right, so I like a lot of this slate, to be honest, and but what I'm most comfortable with right now is give me the Rams at -7 over the Cardinals, because this Rams team I think is a bit of a sleeper in a way, despite being 2-3 right now and not having really that impressive of a defense. They've shown they can keep up with teams that are much, much better than them, like the 49ers and the Bengals, which I know the Bengals suck right now, but I still think they're an elite AFC team. And they also kept up with the Eagles within, technically 2 scores. But I think they're going to have no problem against this Cardinals team, which is really, really bad. And, yeah, I think they're definitely going to win by 7, if not more.
I just got one statement to make about this game, and it's pretty simple. The one thing that the Rams are terrible at is offensive line and protection. The Cardinals are the worst at getting pressure on quarterbacks. So you're going to give Matthew Stafford time. You're going to take away the weakness of the Rams, which is their offensive line, because obviously the Cardinals cannot generate pressure. If that happens, I think Stafford's going to carve you up. He's got Puka and Cup. I agree. This is the easy -7 for me.
Yeah, I love Puka Cup combo. Gov, do you have any interesting name for them?
What are we fusing them now? Are we fusing Tutu in there now?
No.
It's fusion? No.
They do run the most 3 wide receiver personnel of any team in the NFL. So there is that nugget.
Yeah. I think it's like Puka Cup is the name. Koopa Nakua is a good name, but Puka Cup is the name.
Hey, all I know is the combination works, man. I don't care what you call it.
I don't matter. Yeah, it's beautiful name wise. It works. Everything works about it.
All right. Are we snaking this or?
It doesn't matter to me.
For spreads, we usually don't snake.
All right, so Donnie, what is your second?
See, I don't have a confident second, so I'm just gonna go with. See, I can't do that. I can't do it to myself as much as I want to.
I got it.
I am not feeling great about any of these, personally. And there's one that I want to go, but after injuries came out, it's tough to. So I'm gonna go with the young guys. I'm gonna take Houston plus 1.5 against the Saints.
I wanted that pick.
Yeah, it's really sucks when that happens, huh, Evan? So I'm not, like I said, I'm not really confident, but CJ Stroud's looked amazing. This is his first real test. All he needs to do is win. Like, if you win by 1 point, I don't see that happening in the NFL very much. This defense is tough. Stroud's been perfect at, controlling the ball, not making mistakes. It might happen, but I don't see why they can't win, 17-10. The Saints offense isn't anything special. As long as they control the ball, they're not gonna make too many mistakes. I don't think. Stroud's he's just good.
I in a weird way, I feel like the Saints have a similar problem to the Cleveland Browns, where they have a good, respectable defense, but it's not going to be enough to stop this surprisingly improved offense of the Texans. And then what are the Saints going to do to bounce back to keep up with the Texans? They're not good enough at scoring points, right? Fantasy-wise, I'm happy to play guys like Kamara, but the Saints aren't going to put points on the board.
He could change it. Like, we really don't know the potential of the Saints offense yet.
Yeah,
but I still think the Texans are better right now, today.
Well, Houston's really put people in a vice trying to stop the run game, but even Kamara is used more as the offensive, like a swing type player. So, like, this is an interesting game. I would take the Saints on the opposite side, but I could see the Texans. I had a season long bet.
It's so close. I was back and forth. I will say the other game once you guys get through your picks, but
I am sad that they lost Tank Dell because I thought he was really building some good chemistry with CJ Stroud.
I actually think it's great because it gives their other young guys a little bit more opportunity.
It might be that.
If you can get, like, if you lose him for a little bit and get him back and everyone's in action, it's like the same thing with Puka Nakua.
Yeah,
he wouldn't have got that opportunity unless Cup was out, and now they have this great combination.
Or even a younger Stafford, whereas when Stafford lost his number one guy in Kelvin, he actually, admittedly opened up the offense and just started, hitting the open guy. A guy like Mechie, a guy like Dalton Schultz could be more interesting. So, like I'm saying, this is a pivotal week, and I think, that's why we're struggling to make some picks, because I think there's a lot of good games on this slate, but now it's like put up or shut up time. There's no, fun games anymore. It's like, all these games are serious now. They mean something. Speaking of meaning something, go ahead. Go. What do you got?
All right. Second pick. God, you guys made it very thin. You made it very thin.
So I'm saying all these games matter, man.
They're not going to blow them out by that much. That's a rough one to not take.
Well, that's the thing too. Is Vegas gets smarter as the season goes on with these lines too.
Oh, let's see. Please tell me there's metrics. No, there's no metrics. Fuck.
See, that's why we gave more time to this pick. Because seriously, I think.
Yeah, because it takes a second to really go through them. Because and especially once you guys have done that. Because I was gonna take some of these picks. God dang it.
Right. Well, Vegas does get smarter too, though. I guess that's where you would attack on DFS, though, as well. Is when people start to really condense on a couple of weekends. That's where this exercise kind of like plays into our lineup really well because it makes us think outside the box.
All right. I think what I'm gonna do.
The
is
Bengals didn't
go-
just change in front of our eyes, did they?
It might have.
I swear I saw them at -3 earlier, and I think they just changed it to 2.5.
They did.
Okay.
I have it flipping on my screen too in another place. So yeah, it looks like the line is moving. People are betting Seahawks.
That was on my list.
I do think that's smart though.
I have legit nothing from that game. So not like DFS wise, just like my metrics on betting. I don't know where there's not really any sharp money. There's not really any big bets. There's not really any other. There's nothing.
The fact that Higgins came back might be moving the line slightly.
Yeah.
Maybe. All right. I think I'll just.
Yeah, I'm about to.
Will I? Yeah. I'm not going to be fun about it. I'm just going to be like, you know what? Yeah, I'll just take. Oh, which one do I want? Yeah. Okay, so is anyone? What do you guys think about that Philly Jets?
No. I'm not giving you any opinions on anything.
Well, no.
You
I'm just saying.
I'm
looking at that. My independent choices. I'm looking at that game, and I think I know I'm going to go with that game.
Okay.
I'm not giving you. Why would I help you out?
You don't need
What's
to help
my
me. You don't need to help me.
Let's hear it.
Oh no! I'm just gonna take the Eagles.
That was what I was fighting with as well.
Yeah.
What scares me is all the injuries on the Eagles side, but Sauce Gardner's out. But with no Carter, no big play Slay, I think there's another one that I'm forgetting. There's a lot of guys for the Eagles.
Do the Jets keep it close with Zach Wilson? That's what's rough for me. And it's like, my gut says no. Ooh,
but there's not
I think I just grew up a little. What does my gut really tell me? Oh, God.
Breece Hall did look better since they ramped up his carries. He did.
Yeah, this is the thing. When I start thinking about it and trying to vocalize how I feel, I have to say I am afraid of the Jets. And then it's like, okay, no, we're slamming the fucking Eagles on this one. Because I'm not afraid of the Jets. If that's what's really bothering me, is I'm afraid the Jets will keep it close. I should have no fear whatsoever. So we're going to take Philly.
All right.
Yeah, I was going to say, Evan, get in there with your quick little...
Yeah, so the Eagles have been winning ugly all year if you've seen any of their games.
Yep.
Agreed.
And the Eagles are still clearly the better team despite injuries. The Jets don't have a good enough offense to keep up with what the Eagles have on offense. Despite their terrific defense, which is still going to make it tough for Philly, I still think it's going to be a close win for the Eagles. The Jets are going to keep it close like they did against the Chiefs. At least I see it going that way very easily.
Yeah, 24-20.
Yep.
Watch it be 27-20, and it's going to be a tie. Yep, Logan, it's your pick.
I can't believe you guys didn't take this. I think this is the best bet on the board. If I would have saw it earlier, it would have been my first pick. Give me the Chargers in 1.5 over the Cowboys. I don't think the Cowboys are very good. I think the Chargers are very good. I think this is a very mispriced thing. I would take the Chargers money line. I don't got to. I'll take the 1.5.
Okay. I don't blame you.
I was thinking about that one. By the way, Cowboys didn't. Well. Yeah, and he's supposed to be a full go. But the thing is, I can't, even though it's the Cowboys, I have trouble picking a team that should be a playoff team after a loss.
That one's a carnival. I can't wait for the Monday Night Showdown.
Not to mention, I want to mention really quickly, Kellen Moore, former Lions quarterback, very smart kid, became an offensive coordinator, became like the talk of the league, used to, be the offensive coordinator for the Cowboys. If he knows how to shut a team down, it would be that team. If he knows how to play against Mike McCarthy.
How to shut Dak down.
Say what, Donnie?
How to shut Dak down. He knows Dak's limitations, which there is some.
There are many.
Yeah, and so you put all those factors in, and then you put in my favorite factor, which is talent. I think the Chargers are just a more talented team.
I agree.
And and you get a healthy Eckler too, because Eckler's coming off of a not only injury recovery but a bye week, so he's getting it's not just like he's coming back pressed into duty. He's had a whole week to think about the Cowboys and this big marquee matchup. I like the Chargers here.
They held them out longer than they probably needed to, honestly.
Exactly, and they got away with it. And I don't know.
You know what's fucked up, though? I bet the Chargers go up by 2 scores by halftime, and then the Chargers go up by 3 or 4 scores by the end of the third quarter, and then the Chargers end up fucking blowing that lead in the fourth.
Well, they deserve that. They deserve that narrative after the Jaguars debacle, and after some of these things. But I don't know. I just feel like this is a time where the Chargers really show who they are this season.
But yeah, that's the thing, is that Mike McCarthy's Cowboys do play down to their competition, and they got embarrassed against a shitty Cardinal team. So I don't see
why.
why.
They got embarrassed against a way better Niners team.
Me, personally, I want nothing to do with this game, so I'm glad you picked something from that game.
See, and I see shootout written all. There was a game a couple of seasons, or it's been a while now. This kind of reminds me of when the Chargers played Pittsburgh back when they still had Ben, and Ben was not totally washed. They had a game that was just back and forth scoring between Ben and all his weapons at time. I think there was Juju like that, plus Eckler and Keenan on the other side. It was just a crazy game. This I feel like that is because the Chargers defense has not been great this year. They've let Minnesota, Miami, all these other teams put up points. They've been in shootouts. I think Dallas, I don't think Dallas wins, but Pollard, Lamb, they can put up points in this game and keep it competitive.
Yeah.
This could totally be a carnival shootout.
I think so. I mean, I think there'll be a lot of points. And don't forget, Kellen Moore does like to throw the ball and have a high efficiency in terms of.
Oh, with a 1-point spread. Yeah, it's basically who do you think wins? And I would take the Chargers winning that game. Yeah.
I think this is our best primetime game we've seen all year, and buckle up. I think this will be fun. Evan, what's your pick of the week?
So, like I said earlier, I like a lot of games on this slate, and I don't blame some of you for picking picks that I wanted to, but I have plenty of backup options, and I'm going to go with the homer pick this time. I'm picking the Bears at +3. I think this game will not have shootout written all over it anymore because now we know the Vikings are going to be without Justin Jefferson for a long time, and this Viking defense is fucking trash. I think the Bears are going to keep passing at this point. I would not be surprised to see Justin Fields throw for 3 or 4 touchdowns again, and I just have the Bears winning by at least 7.
I like that, Evan. How many trade rumors do you think I've heard about Kirk Cousins just today? From separate sources.
God, don't even fucking get me started with those ESPN rumors that started.
You know how many trade rumors I've heard? 1, Kirk Cousins won't waive his clause.
No, but they're nonsense.
That's all it is.
I've heard 6 different ones. Now, I'm not here to argue whether he will be traded, whether he won't be traded. All I know is that emotionally has an impact on players. Is that good for Cousins? Maybe, because he's been terrible in primetime games. He's been terrible in big moment games. Or does that piss him off to the moment where he's I'm going to show this organization they disrespected me, and it will flip, and he plays his, it affects players differently. And so, we can argue the semantics if he'll get traded or whatever later. I do think it has an effect, though. I just don't know which way to take it.
I think there is no semantics. There's no rumors because he doesn't have he has the clause. So
yeah. To be fair, too, to the Vikings, Alexander Madison should at least have a decent game on the ground because the Bears' rush defense, Andrew Billings showed some promise on the front line, but I don't think it's going to be enough to completely stop him, and the Vikings will definitely put some points on the board, but I don't see them winning against my Bears.
O'Connell did trade for Cam Akers, and Cam Akers has gotten more and more carries as the weeks have went on. So I don't like the Madison play just because I think that whole team it's weirdly ran.
Yeah, it's fucking trash, despite all that talent that they have with Justin Jefferson.
Hey, I hate to say somebody was ready to take the recycling out on the Vikings a long time ago. That was me. Everyone thought I was a homer. I'm like, no, like this team is just bad. I am actually a believer in Justin Fields. So like, I try not to let my Lions fandom, especially my ability to make money. And hopefully we did that with some of our good picks this week. And you guys can take that, and even for entertainment value, at least we're transparent. At least we give you our opinions. Hopefully you can do something with that. And that's our view on the games. You guys got anything else you want to say? You want to get on the lineup?
I was going to say the other one I was thinking about picking too is the Raiders at -3, because who do the Patriots have left on defense? The Raiders still have Garoppolo and all their offensive pieces. I could see the Raiders blowing out the Patriots at this point. I think -3 is too generous.
I do love that as a DFS game. You got Myers as a revenge game, too cheap on DraftKings, in my opinion. You got Adams, who is right around that Chase, level of player, but has the same price tag, but a lot less ownership. I like a lot of that Raiders game.
McDaniel's revenge game too. He knows Mac Jones' limitations more than anyone.
Especially when you deal with two bad defenses, which I think they are. I just think people have this legacy that the Patriots are still a good defense, but they've been hurt and they're just not the same team.
Once Judon and Gonzalez were ruled out for the year, Judon's not out for the year, but once that happened, they're not a good defense. They're just
right. But that's what I'm saying is people still think they are though. And so I'm not saying they're a bad team, but I'm just saying there can be a lot more points scored in those kind of sloppy games that people.
They don't have the talent to keep the sloppy game sloppy on the other end. It's just sloppy for the Patriots because it's Patriots' sloppy offense.
Maybe not.
I was going to say it's also worth noting that there's also a rumor now going that Josh McDaniel could be on the hot seat, which did come out. So once rumors like that come out, I think the Raiders are definitely going to take that to heart and take it out on the Patriots.
Since you are speaking, I'll go full screen on you for a minute just so I can type in my password. So that way we don't have any.
Log into DraftKings. Yep, there we go.
I don't want any hackers taking my big money. I'm a big roller over here, I guess.
Speaking of the Raiders and Patriots, anyone hear anything so far about what's his name? Chandler Jones. There we go.
I haven't.
No news on it.
Yeah, I know he was cut for. Was it a legal issue? I don't remember. Either way, really weird. He's very talented.
It's definitely a personal issue of some kind of legal ramifications. He's saying he was locked out of the organization. He was not permitted to work out there, Donnie. And then they called a trespassing kind of violation on him, even though he said all he was trying to do was clock in and get his voluntary workouts in. So I don't know what was going on there. Then there was another emotional fallout with the team. They cut him or told him to go home. It's weird. Now you got Frank Clark is getting released by Denver. So talk about talented pass rushers just being what would you say?
Frank Clark's pretty much definitely a Chief at this point. If you didn't know that already.
Is he?
Yeah, pretty much. The Chiefs are very interested in him. He's interested in the Chiefs. It's pretty much confirmed that he's going to.
Yeah, which I mean is fine, but I'm just saying it's a weird time for talent. Sometimes talent wins out, but then you gotta wonder what's going on, and that kind of stuff does affect DraftKings. So it does affect how we build lineups, whether we like it or not.
I know the Broncos beat my Bears, but I can't say I blame Frank Clark for wanting out. Holy shit, what a dumpster fire that team is.
I just never thought it was a good fit to begin with, and I think a lot of times fit does matter. Hunter Renfrow, by the way, could be on the move, or potentially both sides have expressed mutual interest in a release or some kind of trade negotiation.
I don't know if we want to talk about it on air, but I am reading into a little bit of the Chandler Jones situation. But
if there's a read through it
it's
a couple
weird.
times. If you read through the whole thing before you give us anything.
Yeah, I like that.
Well, I will say Chandler Jones is not taking a single bit of accountability in his arrest.
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, I love how Gov was he gave you the instructor, he gave you the parent, the dad, sit down. He said, think about it, Donnie. Think about what you're going to say, and then say it.
I'm going to say I'm reading a situation that's very strange, and I'm not going to voice my opinion on it.
And that's a fair take.
But it isn't on anything Raiders wise. It is a domestic issue, and then he's saying something, and he does not take any blame.
But
I'm not convinced this is worth even commenting on this show at the time.
Yeah, it's weird. That's all I'm going to say. Read into it yourself if you want to, guys.
But that's the thing, though, to bring back to this show and like our purposes, is all the times people they think they have to have an opinion, or like, oh, this guy's high owned, Kamara's high owned, or everyone's playing Lamar Jackson this week, so I got to play him, and we fall into this narrative, and sometimes it's better to just sit back, wait till things come out, and then react to them, and this week was a perfect weekend lineup builder to do that, because if we would have tried to build one, like say after our review show, we would not have built the same team. I promise you. There was a lot of late-breaking news. Chuba Hubbard becoming the starter with Carolina flips how you build, because you either have to build with him or without him, and that's going to have ownership ramifications. We got quarterbacks named starters we didn't think. So like all this stuff is very fluid. So let's get into, that's part of the reason we do these shows on Saturday, is to give people like live reaction, our most up-to-date information. But ultimately, I'll say this: I love weeks like this. I love weeks where it seems obvious, but it really isn't. If that makes
Someone's going to galaxy brain themselves. I know that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
This is
They're
a galaxy
probably doing it right now.
I might be, but like that's the thing, is that's my galaxy anyway. So like, I feel like
I'm galaxy braining it with one thing. I know that for sure. But I think I'm right.
But that's the thing, is if it's your brand, then do it, right? If it's your personality, if it's who you are, if it's how you think, then do it. But don't do it because that's what everyone else is doing, or don't do it because you feel like you have to. And even in something like fantasy, it could be even a home league, or any kind of league. Like it could be leading up to a draft, and you're like, well, I've heard this guy, his ADP is rising, so I feel like I got to take him. You don't always got to do that. Is there a lineup build that you guys want to start with? I know we talked about a couple before the show. We got a bunch of lineups here. We can just pick and choose. But is there a certain lineup build that you want to go with in particular?
Not necessarily right now.
No, I would say let's do Evans first.
Yeah, I'd say Evans is a good one. So, Evan, you wanted to do a no team above 500 lineup. So we basically take all the teams with losing records, and we only pick players from those teams, correct?
Yes, and I think I typed it up I think I typed it up correctly this time, where I stopped at the Chargers. So we can't pick anyone from the Eagles, Niners, Chiefs, Lions, Dolphins, Seahawks, Bucks, Falcons, Ravens, Bills, Cowboys, Colts, Jaguars, Saints, Steelers, and Browns and Chargers.
Correct.
Okay. I think that's entirely doable.
Yeah. It's your lineup. I'll give you first pick, and then explain to the people maybe why you're picking this fella. So that way it just doesn't come off as like, hey, I wanted to do something silly and stupid or goofy. Like, tell people the theory behind the play. Like, why did you choose to do this lineup this week?
Sure thing, absolutely. And I will. Let's see, which game do I want to pick from first, though? That's the thing.
But I've gotten that question in some of the private conversations I've had with our fans. Even they're like, "Hey, I love the pillar idea, but how do you guys come up with the process?" Like, we talk a lot about the process, but we don't have to talk about like what leads us to it. So I thought that'd be an interesting wrinkle we could add this week.
Yeah. So I think I will start from the Patriots and Raiders game. Give me Jacoby Myers for 5,800.
Great. I just mentioned how I thought it was a sleeper pick earlier.
Yeah, I actually didn't realize that his salary was so fucking low, and that's a steal for the fantasy value he puts up.
I've said this to Donnie even before this season. I thought Myers, if he was ever in a pass-heavy offense, he would explode. Now, I wouldn't even call the Raiders a pass-heavy offense, and he seems to be really clicking with Jimmy, which is kind of crazy because I thought more like a Justin Herbert, a really offensively driven, he would explode. He's even doing it with Raiders. What I like is he's getting almost 10 yards every time he catches a ball. So it's not even just like he's getting peppered with these short targets. He's turning them into something.
Hey, Logan, it's also worth noting that the only time this season the Raiders have been pass-heavy was in Week 3 against the Steelers. Otherwise, they've been balanced the whole time.
If it tells you anything, you can tell I've been on this play because I already have some stats ready for you. Donnie, go. Any additional thoughts on Myers?
He's
No, I
not
think
any
that's a
different
pretty
than what he's
solid
been to
play.
the Patriots.
Yeah.
Literally the same receiver he's always been on the Patriots.
He's
Except
getting more volume than he got on the Patriots.
He had over 60 catches almost every year. He was a pivotal offensive player for the Patriots.
He might catch 90 balls for this team this year.
I think it's a good.
Like him and Adams are at like 15 targets a game. He gets work. I mean, he's not that high. I'm exaggerating, but like you don't see guys get 10, 12 targets a game all regularly. Like,
I agree.
He's on pace for like 200 plus targets.
I've been very honest from the get-go. I never understood why Juju was a replacement for Myers because I thought Myers were definitively better. I was always a Myers fan. You can go back to last year's podcast if you want.
Because the Patriots have never been an offensive team, they never will be because they don't understand offense.
Yep, that's Bill Belichick for you.
Yeah. The reason their offense is terrible is Bill Belichick. The reason their defense is great is Bill Belichick. So, that's just what they are.
Yep. And I just think it shows how bad he is at evaluating wide receivers when he didn't sign Jacoby and went after Juju.
Yeah.
That's the exclamation point on the whole thing.
It's a good point. Donnie, since you're speaking, why don't you make the next pick here?
Oh, did we not want to go backwards from the
I was about to say, yeah, let's do the reverse pick. So Evan, so Logan.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. I could do a really good value here, but that would kind of limit us.
Do whatever you think's comfortable.
Yep. 5,800 is a solid start. We can go anywhere.
I'll do the chalky thing. Give me Chuba Hubbard.
Oh, God.
He's getting too much work in the passing game. I just think he's that cheap. He only needs like 10 points. He could get that with the receptions alone.
I think he is the worst chalk on the slate, personally.
I would have to agree.
I've seen him not get I know they said 80% workload. I've seen him not get that.
I know.
Had been beaten out.
And honestly,
give Foreman all the touches. Give Blackshear all the touch. I'm trying to remember who got it. Where the first year McCaffrey was hurt, he still split. He still split with someone else. No, that was last year when he was traded. Foreman ended up winning the job. There was another year before that when McCaffrey got hurt and Chuba didn't get the full workload. I'm trying to think who we signed to be split with him. It was someone.
That's why I did it too, Guppies, because I knew I'd be the only one to probably do it. But I think
he had as the backup, he's been getting solid work, especially in the passing, 2-3 targets a game. So if he gets 6 targets as the main dude, yes, he'll have a floor that can pay off 4,300. I'll say that. But I do not think he has a true ceiling.
No, I'm playing him for the floor.
You're playing. He's like the Wandale of last week.
Yeah.
It's does he have a real ceiling? Probably not. Can that price at basic minimum salary and the floor he can give you hurt you or get you there? It can help build the rest of the lineup out.
It allows us to get a Christian McCaffrey if we choose to go that way. It allows us to basically pay up for a lot of other positions.
Yeah, we can play good wide receiver. We'll be able to pay up in a spot or two.
All right, go for your pick.
I was going to say something about Chuba, but I mean...
No, you can say it about Chuba while I pick my guy. Hold on.
So Chuba Hubbard right now, I don't see where he's going to do well against the Dolphins. I don't like the Dolphins' defensive front line. I don't think it's all that good, but Chuba Hubbard is bad. He's really... Actually, I take that back. I will take that back. He's not bad. He's just a below-average running back who I don't think is going to live up to expectations. I don't even think he puts up 10 fantasy points against the Dolphins.
He's put up almost 10 3 times this season, and he hasn't been named the starter. this week he is the starter, I think 10's a guarantee.
I don't think he's very good, and I don't see why he'd be better than Sanders.
Well, Sanders is out.
Yeah, right. But
Right.
I'm just saying in general.
That's like Chuba hasn't been beating out Sanders, even when Sanders has been playing through an injury.
Yeah,
and like I said, we've had 3 years of him on the team of basically him not being able to beat out other guys for the full workload.
Exactly.
But that's my point. Is he's touched the ball over 10 times last week, and he wasn't the starter, and he touched the ball in week 4.
No, yeah, he's gonna I agree. He even as a backup, he's been getting solid work. So like the floor of him getting solid work is there. Sometimes I'm looking in tournaments I'm looking for ceiling, and I don't see the ceiling from him, which makes me think he's the bad chalk. If everyone's gonna play Chuba because of how cheap he is, I think there's not the ceiling.
You might be right, but I do think it's more about correlation, and so it depends on what we build around him. So let's see what we can do there.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Despite not being able to pick Dolphins.
Exactly. And there's like no way to really correlate Hubbard, where he's like, we're just eating chalk with him. High chalk. So it's like, well, if that's the case, let me try to offshoot that with some lower ownership. So we're going to go to wide receiver.
Yep.
And we are going to mini stack our Jacoby Myers with Kendrick Bourne at 4,200.
Nothing, but I weirdly like it.
Bourne.
Yeah. Why?
I was expecting you to say Tyler Boyd.
Well, looking at my metrics, like it's either him or Parker, and I actually like Bourne as the better receiver. Like, just in the offense, he seems to run the better routes that Mac Jones throws. He's more the inside guy, whereas Parker's the outside guy. Like, I just like Kendrick's stuff. I think it'll be easier. And he also has had an 18+. He's basically had a 20-yard catch every game. So, yeah.
And you were worried about chalk, and you just offset the chalk by going Kendrick. See, that's what I mean. Like, we can get weird enough. We don't got to worry about chalk.
Yeah, because my concern with Kendrick Bourne is that he got back a lot of playtime against the Saints, but he did practically nothing with it, and he's on a downtrend of targets in this offense. You know, I mean, it's struggling against good defenses, but
right, and that's what I'm banking on. Like, I've seen the downtrend, I see those metrics, but like, it's not like Parker and the other guys are doing so much better.
No, of course not.
So, like, I'm still willing to say that Bourne is a part of this offense who's still been producing 20+ yard catches every week, pretty much. Like 28, 20, 18, 19. Like, he's basically getting a solid deep ball every week. Like, if he gets a touchdown, he'll be a good play.
His yards per catch is insane too.
Right, that's what I mean. I'll take a shot on him.
Yeah.
If he gets any volume or a touchdown, then like he's probably a smash play.
I like your theory on that, Gov. You're saying if he gets the ball in his hands, he's gonna make things happen with it. I like it.
Super C&B Challengers gave us a good comment about AJ Brown's line.
Did he? Let's see what say. Don, do you have any picks right away that you definitely want to hit on?
Not yet, because I actually was just looking at. I'm not gonna pull up the comment. I love AJ Brown or Smith this week. One of the two.
Yeah.
I can agree with that. Like, it's gonna move. It is disrespectful. It's probably gonna go up, but I don't know if it'll go up by that much. We'll just see. Like, Hurts in Philly is a run offense.
Yeah.
And presumably they're going to be up massively in this game. But I probably still would have said it in like 77 or something, not 69, 68.
Yeah. It's probably Evan's favorite number, as we've already established. But
nice.
I do think I do think you got to be careful because 69 could be value, but you get up to like 75, and I'm starting to get off very quickly just because I don't know how often the Eagles are really a pass-centric offense, especially against the Jets. Now, if you think if the Jets keep it closer and you think the game's competitive, I think it'd be a lot easier to make that bet. I think it just depends on how competitive you think that game is. But it's obviously a good find. Keep shooting some more if you like. We can speak about them. Don, anything you do with the lineup?
Yep, I got a quarterback stack already for us because I got back-to-back picks here.
It's a good time to use your quarterback stack then.
Yep. We're just doing DJ Moore, Justin Fields.
Smart move.
Yeah.
See, now you like that Chuba Hubbard thing better, don't you? Like now that I left you all the money to do such a thing.
I was a fan of the Chuba Hubbard thing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it looks pretty good when you can do things like that.
I, the Panthers fan, am not a fan of the Chuba Hubbard thing.
Hey, look at all the former Panthers or.
Hey, listen. I didn't need it. I could have went Komet in Fields, but
I'm just saying, Chuba Hubbard, Moore. We got a lot of Panthers in this lineup. I don't mind it.
Komet's actually relatively cheap for the production he's been putting up too.
he is.
All right, so we're back to me now, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. You've left me with some fun stuff.
Well, we are snaking, right?
Yeah, we're snaking. So he did his 2 picks. Comes
Beautiful.
back around. Yep.
Beautiful.
Okay. Wide receivers full. We need another running back.
It feels like I've
Still have tight end and defense that can be cheap.
But doesn't gotta be.
Doesn't have to be.
That's the cool part. We're in a fun range right now. You could go high. You can put the next guy in a lot of trouble. Like you pretty much guarantee the next guy's pick, but you got
the way this lineup is built. Okay, fine. Yeah. Hawkinson.
Yeah, I thought you might go there.
Let's just get the bring back.
Why do you like it, Gov? Obviously, with JJ.
Someone personally, like, I flipped the coin between Addison and Hawkinson myself. Everyone else is probably going to go with the experience with the team of Hawkinson. Someone's getting 3 to 4 more targets than they have been without Jefferson. Maybe multiple guys, but someone's going to like produce with 3 or 4 extra targets. And it's most likely Hawkinson, but that's only because Addison's a rookie. It could be him too.
I'm with you, Gov. And like, if it is Hawkinson, who it was last time JJ was out, but if it is Hawkinson this week, then we're talking about Travis Kelce like volume. We're talking like 12, 13 targets instead of 8. 8's still pretty good for a tight end position that can be hit or miss. And yeah, sure, 6,600 is a lot for a tight end, but 6,600 is not a lot for a wide receiver. We kind of saw that with the Myers range earlier. So if say what?
DJ Moore, literally same price basically.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you view him as the Vikings' number 1 receiver, which is what I'm doing this week, I think he's a tremendous value. If he's just a tight end, bad value. But it depends on how you see it.
Logan, your pick.
My pick next, right?
Yep.
Okay. So I think I'm just going to play the best value on the board that we haven't spoke about yet. And it's either between 2 guys. I think I'll just take the obvious one. And I'll plug in David Montgomery.
There we go.
He literally, so Dan Campbell said he was happy with Montgomery getting 30 carries. He never drafted Gibbs to be a workhorse, and they brought in Montgomery to be the workhorse. So they have no problem with him getting 30 more carries, every week until they're ready to roll out their full offense. So I just don't see there any reason not to play Montgomery here. He's a good late game hammer too as well.
The only reason we can't is because we're not picking from teams above 500.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. My instinct just took over there and picked the best player.
That's my bad, too. I should have realized that the first time.
So, hold on. We need players from.
And honestly, like Monty's like the 7th or 8th running back. Like, and he's pulling chalk like other guys, but he's not pulling any of the metrics. Tampa Bay's been pretty good on defense. Like, I don't think Monty's like a smash hit play this week, honestly.
Interesting, because I do, but maybe it's good that we can't play him. Then it has to be from a bad team, right?
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
we can't do the Tampa Bay Detroit game. We can't do the San Fran Cleveland game or the Indy Jacksonville game. And then there's a few handful of teams like Seattle, New Orleans, right? Yeah, the Saints. Can't do them. Can't do Philly. Can't do Miami.
But Beyond there, not to sway you too much.
No,
We're still going to call him Bion.
Yep.
Bajin.
Never gonna fix.
The J is silent.
give me
Yep.
Bryce. Give me Brees Hall.
That is doable. Yeah.
Looked really good.
Yeah. No Carter this week on the defensive line for the Eagles. That's a big run stopper.
And by the way, it came out that the Jets are now potentially shopping Cook. Not that he's been particularly good. His yard per carry have went down. He's not like very explosive. And Hall has been getting healthier and healthier. It looked really good once they lifted the restrictions off of his carry limit. At 6,000, I think that it's too cheap.
Yeah. That brings it over to Evan, and he has the next 2 picks to finish this out, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir.
But
And
I would suggest personally is look at defenses first because you have so much money to work with.
I will get to that. Are you guys ready for some cheap defense play?
I am.
You don't need it, but yeah.
Give me the Texans defense at 2,900.
That's average for defensive price. That's not cheap. That's not expensive.
Yeah, 3K is like the mid-range.
Yeah.
That's still below it.
I think cheap defense like 25 and under.
Okay, fair. I mean, I haven't seen many that are 2,500 and under so far.
Exactly. That's why it's cheap.
But
you haven't built enough lineups with me. I never pay for you.
okay, so that leaves us with 6,400. I like that. Let's see. Yeah, I think the inevitable play. Give me T. Higgins.
I was going to say Joe Mixon, but yes, I do think a Bengal is the inevitable play.
I don't like Joe Mixon this year, though. I find he's just been really meh.
That's true, but
agree.
Okay, what do you think of? Let me see. I had these stats up earlier. Okay, what do you think of Kenneth Walker?
Walker, I have not found to be super spectacular so far, but he was great against the Panthers.
I like Walker for ceiling, or for floor, not ceiling. He never has big explosion games.
Because he's getting the volume. That's the thing. As Charbonnet is yet to be integrated.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think of like Brian Robinson Jr.?
He's been really surprising me this year with his play because the snap percentage has been all over the place for him, and he's not an efficient running back in the first place. And he impressed me with the Broncos, but yeah, against the Bears, if it weren't for those 4 passes he caught, that would have been a horrible game.
Okay, what do you think of Josh Jacobs?
Jacobs has been
whole and across the slate, yeah.
These are just questions for me and not everybody else, right?
Anyone can answer. I'm just throwing this out, but yes.
Okay, I'll let someone else answer.
Like I'm just throwing out names. Okay, like I'll get to the point. I'm throwing out all those names for all of those running backs.
Mm-hmm.
If I told you Mixon has the exact same volume and workload and touches, both like receiving workload, target share, all of that, as those guys, if not better, but he hasn't scored a touchdown yet.
Mixon is 1.
Yeah, I was about to say he has 1 in week 1. That's it. The other guys have all this volume and work that make them good running back plays.
And that's 7,100.
And Mixon's getting all of that same work and has not produced the touchdowns that the other guys have.
Here's the thing. All it takes is the Bengal offense to be decent again. Not even good, decent.
Right. That's where it's like, I think Mixon is a better play just because I can name 5 other guys who are exactly the same as him, who may be pulling the same amount or more ownership. And like, they have already like Walker's already had his 30-point game. Jacobs has already had one like good game, 27 points against the Chargers. A lot of these guys have like already had good producing. Mixon hasn't. He's kind of like I hate the word, but he's due for some touchdown regression in his way.
I should clarify why I'm not big on Mixon in the first place, and I've always usually been out on Mixon every single week throughout like his whole career because Mixon is horrible at blocking. He doesn't pull in a lot of receiving work unless there's some outlier games, and he's just not in on third down, which to me that always caps Mixon's upside. As much as I hate that word upside, and I often look to other plays that are not Mixon for that reason.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so are you guys ready to build the other lineup builder I had an idea for? So
Sure.
If you guys remember the last, I think 2 weeks ago, we built really good, quick lineups where we gave very little thought and just gave our initial reaction to picks. What I was thinking about doing is each of us has a core 3, and then you guys, and then you don't, so if it's my core, I wouldn't get any more picks, and we just rotate between the 3 of you. But I set the core. So I set the core 3, and then you guys do rapid fire picks from there without my input.
All right.
But here's the twist. So you can pick a core 3 and pick a quarterback, you can pick a core 3 and no quarterback, or core 2 with a quarterback. So
I did the core 2 with the quarterback.
Okay, so that'll be yours, but this is mine for now, and I'll let you guys build it. So I'm going to do core 3. I'm going to go with Chuba. This is where I told you, because me and Gov are part of a Discord channel, where we talk about the slate. He was talking about how much he hates this kind of build. And so I was snickering to myself as I was eating dinner tonight as he was making this point, because I'm like, he's going to hate this build, but it's going to be fun to watch him have to struggle through it. Okay, there you guys go.
All right, Gov, you start off. It's going to be me, then Evan.
I thought you were about to stick in double tight end for a second.
No. You thought so. Hey, they might on you. I don't have any more say.
All right. Wow. Okay.
Do you want me to explain why I did this first or after you guys build it?
After.
Okay.
Oh, let's see. Okay. Well, we definitely have value put in places. So, do I eat chalk? No, because Chuba is chalky. Pitts is coming in kind of chalky. Foreman's probably the secondary cheap guy. So let's lower own to this a little bit. Give me Chris Godwin.
I like it.
He's at a very good price.
He is. I like him.
6,900.
I think a lot of people will want to play Mike Evans coming back, or they'll be afraid to play Godwin because Evans is coming back. But
he gets so many red zone targets that, again, he's another guy who's like, with as much as he should have like straight up, I caught it in the end zone for a touchdown kind of targets, he should have a touchdown on the year.
Yeah, I could argue that Mike Evans might be the more explosive player and like the more sexy, build player in that offense, and you think of him. But I would say that Godwin's been more efficient and probably has been unfortunate with the touchdowns. And if some of those touchdowns go his way instead of Evans' way, I think we'd have a different view of Godwin coming into the season.
Targets are ridiculous there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to waste any time. We have money to spend. Just jam in McCaffrey.
Well, I thought knowing Donnie it was going to be St. Brown, but it's McCaffrey.
Okay. That immediately spends all of our savings. Great job on the Disneyland trip right there.
You're welcome. Evan, your pick?
All right. Well, let's see. Gov, how's the chalk on Adam Thielen this week?
Mild. Very mild. Like, honestly, more mild than I was expecting.
Give me Adam Thielen, baby.
Oh, I couldn't hide my disdain for that pick.
Oh.
Being that we spent the money on McCaffrey, I think we had to.
He's about $3,000 too much.
No, Thielen should be a 5K player. I don't know about 59, but he should be a 5K player. Like, saying he should only be minimum salary basically is like, come on. He's the number one wide receiver, and he's been producing, Logan. Let's be real.
I somehow.
Doesn't matter how it's somehow. It matters that he's producing.
The points are better so far. I just hope they count up for this lineup too. Hey, if we put up 30 again, I'll be happy. Trust me. But
like, I hate to say it, but like, I really need to put something in this lineup to make it make any kind of sense.
I know what you're gonna say.
What am I gonna say?
Wait, is it my pick?
I don't know who's picking.
Yeah,
exactly.
it's my pick. It's my pick.
Oh, we're just going back. We're not snaking.
Oh, we are snaking. You're picking up. Go ahead, pick something.
Okay. So to get some correlation with that 49er Brown game, give me Amari Cooper.
I like it. Cooper's price is cheap.
I like Cooper, but I just don't know if that offense can score.
I'm not worried about scoring. I'm just worried about Cooper's PPR volume, baby.
Outside of the DTR game, his volume has been there.
Yep, now it would be my pick. I guess I kind of feel
like
forced
PJ
to throw
Walker.
Bryce Young. Oh, yeah, I feel
Imagine
forced
him
to throw
without
Bryce
Cooper.
Young.
Where's Young?
Yeah, well, PJ Walker makes no sense because we'd have so much money left over.
Ah, true. But how are we gonna? Let's see, defense.
We can fix this afterwards.
Yeah,
we still have plenty of money left over.
Yeah,
but that's the only quarterback that makes sense. You could always go Brock Purdy.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Can we switch that to Brock Purdy, Logan?
Yeah, we can switch it.
Purdy, please. Sorry, I had to go for it.
How's that motherfucker spell his name anyways?
P-U.
And that's I told you I learned his first name if he kept playing good. He did last year. I learned his first name.
So that leaves $100 on the table if we go with the Niners defense.
I wouldn't if we're doing like the game stack with Amari on the other side. At that point, I would go like that.
Yeah, but we could take Amari out and then go with the Myers.
Oh, let's see. If we took Amari out, we'd have 100 left.
Like I say, you can change the lineup outside of my core. I have to agree on my core, and I will not agree.
Well, first of all, just stick a defense in there for one.
Okay.
Just put the top price defense out of yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's not bad though. We could just say Raiders defense against a bad Patriots offense.
Sure.
I think I'd rather go down one more and do the Eagles defense against the Jets.
Yeah, I would do the Eagles.
I don't like that with all the injuries. I think the Patriots offense is much worse. Mac Jones.
I don't think the Raiders defense is very good at all. I don't know if that matters against New England. I
think it does.
Are we banking on Max Crosby getting all those sacks?
Here's the thing.
Yeah, that's where it's I know that without Jalen Carter, the Eagles' defense will still get pressure.
No, but here's my argument for you. Mac Jones, and they have not played all good defensive lines, has the second worst time to throw as a quarterback this year. He has under 2 seconds on average to throw a football. Physically not possible.
The Raiders are just they just don't get pressure though. It's just I think we saw their best defensive game, and it was this game against Green Bay last week.
Yeah.
I don't know, this seems like a game. This just seems like a game where both teams know each other too well to have anything stupid really happen. And I need some variant stupidity in defense.
I do think the Eagles make more sense Did you guys want to make any changes? I'll explain after why I built this core, and then we can build.
We can go Eagles. I don't care. I really am low on this Patriots offense at this point. So whatever.
No, I'm with you on that. I think it's an overpay for the Raiders. Like if we're paying up for defense, I need something that again, I need something with some ceiling for a defense, with some variance for touchdowns. And I think that is more Zach Wilson messing up than two coaches who are going to control this game in Belichick and McDaniels.
So quickly, I'll mention I wanted targets and I wanted to get plays that I thought were good, that were guaranteed to get like 15 points. And I feel like everyone in this lineup can get 15 points. And here's what people are going to do. They're going to want to play McCaffrey. So they're going to pay, down for a Chuba or Foreman or like one of these wide receivers.
Yeah, they're probably going to play like a Downs or something like that in the 4K range. Yeah.
Those lineups are going to be a lot more the same. Like everyone's going to have a lot of the same players. So the way to get different is to play both of the cheap guys. Because the correlation, it's almost like a quarterback to a wide receiver. When you consider the price of both players, it kind of changes the lineup structure. And playing both cheap running backs this way, and then forcing in basically the cheapest wide receiver, which is what I view Pitts in this week. I just think like 11 targets in Pitts last week. He's been averaging 8 targets. And then you're paying up for the floor of the 2 safest running backs. You can get really unique with the rest of your lineup and get safe. Like, yeah, is Christian McCaffrey probably too expensive? Yes, but he's more likely to get 20 to 15 points than he is like 5.
He's not too expensive. He's just not.
But I'm saying, like, even if you made the argument that he was, like, that's okay because we're paying for floor. We're saying, hey, we'll get floor where you guys can't. You know what I'm saying? So I
to be fair, it's kind of looking like if McCaffrey goes for like 35, 40 fantasy points this week against what's supposed to be a good Cleveland defense, that's probably what pushes him over 10K in price.
So
I'm really surprised he's not there yet.
Why don't we do this? Why don't we go to somebody else's core 3? Just because I do think these core 3 are interesting. Donnie, you got one?
Well, I had one. Oh, okay. I don't pick a quarterback, right?
If you pick a quarterback, then you only get the quarterback and one other guy.
Yeah. You get to pick the stack.
All right.
Yeah.
Or you can pick 3 without the quarterback.
Who did the Rams play again this week?
Arizona.
All right.
DFS for a living or anything.
All right. Well, I want Puka and Cup. Gonna be honest.
Okay, so
both the receivers.
Who's your third?
Puka, Cup, and I'm gonna force. Cup's gonna hate me. I'm gonna force Foreman in here. I'll go Foreman instead of Chuba for Gov's sanity.
I actually really am fine with Foreman this week.
Yeah, he loves Foreman.
Like Foreman, I'm on. Chuba, I'm not.
Foreman actually makes sense to me.
Puka Foreman, okay.
The Bears game could get really nasty in terms of whether
I kind of picked your quarterback without picking your quarterback, but you know.
Okay, whose pick is it next?
I guess Logan, it would be yours since you didn't get to pick.
Thank you. I got an easy one. Wait, no. I'm gonna do this one. I'm gonna really piss you guys off this week.
What? Why? What anger? Why? Oh, Jameson. Okay.
I like JMO though.
Do you? Because I thought people would hate that pick. But here's the reason why. He's cheap. Of all the cheap wide receivers, I think he has the highest upside. And he's only played one career game with St. Brown. St. Brown and him play off each other so well. With St. Brown taking over the middle, like dominating the middle of the, so he can take the top off. All he needs is one catch, and he pays off value.
Yeah, Jameson Williams was somebody I was really high on last year, even with the ACL injury he had in the bowl game with Alabama. But I'm a bit concerned about the way that Campbell has been integrating him into the NFL so far.
Well, he played. I will say he played a lot in the preseason. They said he would have played more in the Panthers game, but they had that one under control pretty much.
Sure, but my concern is that JMO doesn't break out and ends up being an average bust at the number 12 overall pick because Campbell. I don't like the way he's being used. Like even as a gunner on special teams, it's like you spent the 12 pick on him.
Yeah. Here's the thing. They literally are going to end up using them like Reynolds and Raymond this year, it feels like. And that's just...
That could be true, but I'm telling you guys, it's not it's a talent and price. And I just don't think there's a guy who has the touchdown upside that Jamison has at 3,600. Yeah, Brandon Powell, he's going to catch a lot of passes with the Vikings, for example, but he doesn't got the touchdown upside of Jamison. He doesn't get the explosion. Robert Woods, for example, is cheap but doesn't got the touchdown upside as Jamison Williams does, in my opinion.
All right. Do we go Gov or Evan? I don't really care.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. I gotta decide still.
We have
You
that
have
average
no
5K,
time you have no time to decide. Stick Alvin Kamara in this lineup.
Okay, I'm
I
fine with
like
that.
it.
targets, I guess. Jeez.
Last week you got 3 targets and 22 carries.
You know what really pisses me off though? Is people don't give the guy credit. I don't care if he's a wide receiver or a running back. I prefer if he's both. Guess what? He might just be both. 18 and 21 points, I'll take. Easy money.
Literally both games he's played, he's had, 24 touches? 24 and 25 potential touches
Right,
each
that's
game.
what I'm saying. Like, he's put up CMC like workload. You could argue that Carr wasn't healthy, and every week that Carr looks healthier and healthier, wouldn't Kamara be a better and better play? That'd be my argument.
It's entirely possible. That's why I'm sticking him in here.
Yeah, he's gonna catch passes anyway. Who cares?
Evan,
I think he's game script proof. Like, I think that these last 2 games, he's game script proof. Even if they're up, like, they're just going to give him carries then.
Yep. Exactly. My pick?
Yep.
Zach Ertz.
Love it.
I like that.
Love it.
Especially with the core here. I mean, I like that pick anyways, but
Don, I can't believe you love something I actually picked for a change. I don't think that's ever happened.
No, Zach Ertz is on my radar every week.
Is that the kiss of death, or is that like a good sign for good positive momentum?
I hope it's the latter.
Wouldn't it be nice? Both for our pocketbooks.
Do I pick again, or?
It doesn't matter to me.
I would say, yeah.
Alrighty, I guess I got to pick the quarterback then.
You can pick the defense.
Yeah,
You can
that's
pick
true.
the defense or the flex.
That's true.
But we do have the top 2 wide receivers from the Rams.
Fuck.
PJ Walker.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna pick the quarterback. I don't want to touch defense at this point.
They're still flex, man.
Yeah, I'll let you guys have the flex. I'll just pick quarterback. Give me Baker Mayfield.
I hate you.
Was that going to be yours?
No. I can't pick, but no, I just hate you. That's disgusting.
Okay. Do you want the defense, or do you want me to have it? Go, I trust you either way.
That really,
Well,
really
Logan, it's your
sucks.
pick. So
Like,
it doesn't matter.
honestly, this was setting up so hard to just like go Stafford for 300
My
more.
pick?
Yeah, Logan, it's your pick. We can fix it after.
We'll see. Logan?
Yeah.
Logan,
Oh, I was going to say, you picking? Oh.
Logan left you with nothing for salary-wise defensively.
What, he put in Godwin?
Yeah.
Is that even
He gave
possible?
you the rod. He gave you the rod, God.
Man, I wanted $200 more. Like that, I could deal with if I had $200.
Yeah, I can give you 200 more.
I mean, I know where to get it. It'd be changing my other pick. You go
I
from
can give you
Kamara
200.
down to like Kyren or something.
Oh, but Kamara's too smart of a play.
See, because I don't like
There
any
you
of those
go.
defenses that's left.
There you go, Gov. I got you. I fixed it.
What?
There we go.
I love Garrett Wilson this week. Love him. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad somebody brought it.
No, you didn't fix it. The only thing that made Baker work was Godwin.
I know.
Baker doesn't
Like,
work.
I don't
that's
give
the
a
point.
crap about the defense being right if we don't have Godwin with Baker.
Yeah,
We need to fix the lineup after.
Yeah, that's like say just put Godwin in there and then just like
Yeah.
I guess like because the problem is the best defense of the three left would be Tampa's.
But seriously, when we talk about Godwin, he's getting all the targets. It's really just touchdowns. If some of those touchdowns flip his way instead of Mike Evans' way, I think Godwin could smash this week. Does anyone hate the Godwin play? Because I just think he's going under.
I don't hate it at all.
I don't hate the Godwin play at all, especially when we're playing Baker. I think like that's a must.
And
I wish we would have gone Stafford over Baker. Then you don't need
this
Godwin.
lineup can be touched up on after. That's fine.
Yeah.
let's be honest about.
Well, like we're basically done. Like I guess at this point, I have to pick the Panthers defense.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the only one that makes any sense to throw in with what money we have.
Okay. So seriously though, since this is Donnie's core, Donnie, you changing any of your core plays?
Oh no, my core stays my core.
Okay, your core staying.
If you guys decide to switch it to Stafford and something else with Godwin up there, that's up to you. But my core staying.
I could understand wanting to change Baker because, I mean, Gov, you do bring up a good point that Stafford probably would be a little better, but my concern was chalk.
There's not going to be chalk.
Stafford is the chalkiest quarterback on the slate.
True, but we have
this stack.
But it's mostly with just Cup.
Right.
And then, like, Puka's not pulling a heck of a lot of ownership.
The
But, like, that is kind of a chalky stack. Foreman's a little chalky. Kamara's on the back end of being chalky. So, like, yeah, there's chalkier, but no one's playing Jameson. Ertz isn't very chalky. No one's playing Godwin. So, like, we're getting off a lot of the chalk to do this. And then, like, we have honestly, what I'm be looking at would be, like, to go – the thing to do would be to go down from Kamara to either Kyren or Mixon, and then you could play the Chicago defense paired with Foreman, which is a better play.
What if we play
against Cousins, who's going to chuck it without his best weapon?
We could play what's his name, Bruce Hall too.
Are we switching the quarterback for sure?
No. Like in my scenario, you keep Baker.
Okay.
In my scenario, you keep Baker, you switch the running back down $200 or $300, and you go up to the Bears defense.
Well, hold on a second.
Looks better.
What if we throw Mixon in this and we have the Stafford? Like, how do we feel about that?
I'm just showing the options. I'm not.
You could go all the way down to Mixon, and then
we go.
This
Mixon.
doesn't look terrible.
You could go Kamara to Mixon, and then you could go Baker to Stafford and the Panthers defense to the Chicago defense. I think.
Evan, what do you want to do in terms of like if you didn't?
No, you couldn't do both, but you could do Baker to Stafford.
If you weren't worried about chalk, though, since that was your worry with putting in Baker, do you like Baker more than Stafford?
I wouldn't say more because, I mean, like what Gov was bringing up earlier, he brought up a good point that it could be a shootout, and I was like, okay, take the less chalky quarterback. But if Stafford isn't that much worse than chalk, then I can live with the swap.
I don't think people are going to play Cooper and Nakua together.
It's going to be very hard.
I'm the only one insane enough to do it.
People will try because they'll be able to punt with Foreman or Chuba, and then Josh Downs or Brandon Powell maybe from Minnesota. They'll be able to punt and fit in those two top guys. But I agree. I don't think a Stafford stack is going to be super owned. I think we have really low owned plays, a couple of sub 5%ers in the lineup. No one's going to play the Panthers defense against Miami. Like we have the ability to do that. Like
all I'm saying is I've done the Puka Nakua stack with Stafford before, and it paid off. I don't see why I wouldn't go back to it when I really believe in it, and I continue.
Yeah, I can work with that one. Yeah, that works good. Looks fine to me.
I need to make sure of that. I really don't hate any of these lineups. I know Donnie last week was saying that he didn't like the one lineup, but I really don't mind any of these lineups we've built so far. Trying to find the one we want here. This is our field one. Okay, I think this is the one. I think. That's not ours. All right. Does anyone want the core? Do you want to do a different lineup, Bill? What do we want to do here?
I was about to say this is probably the last lineup for the night. So I will be back in just a second. Hold on.
You're fine.
I have a core that I'd like to try with.
Let's do that now. Let's go with your core. We can get.
All right. Ready?
Yeah, I'm good.
Nico Collins, DJ Moore, Raheem Mostert.
Okay. I like it though because it might be a chalky pull, but I think we can build around it pretty easy. You said Raheem Mostert, Collins, DJ Moore, right?
Yeah. Because I figured we're gonna take some chalk anyway, but then we can build around the less chalky guys.
Okay, Donnie, why don't we rapid fire this one since it's just me and you here, and we'll see if we can even build Gova Court maybe if he comes back.
All right. We're doing DJ Moore. Let's go ahead and throw in downs.
Downs. All right. Can I interest you in some Josh Downs, right?
Yeah,
Let me go Evan Ingram at tight end.
I like that.
And then do you have a running back that sticks out?
Running back that sticks
I would
out.
think Kamara makes sense here.
To be honest, I really like. I'd like to try Jonathan Taylor again if you think he's going to get more of a workload. If not, I just go Mixon.
He's too expensive though, and Mixon's cheaper.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that think that Mixon's back. I'm not so convinced. He wasn't really pressured last week. Joe Mixon, or I combine the names, Joe Burrow. But if Joe Burrow is pressured, they might rely more on the quick passing and the run game of Mixon. I kind of like Mixon there.
Right.
This might be a one-off, but I think it's good for volume. Give me St. Brown coming back off injury. I think people will be afraid of it, but he's under 8K. I think anytime he's under 8K, he's interesting. He's obviously Jared Goff's favorite target.
Honestly, Minshew would be my guy here.
Minshew? I'm good with that.
Yeah, I can't imagine playing Trevor Lawrence. He's just been ass. Actually, I take that back. Not ass. He's just been real mid.
Just hit defense, Logan.
Yeah, I know. Oh yeah, you said just hit defense. So the problem is I don't like the red on my screen, so I try to scroll down like I'm allergic or something.
To be honest, if you go Dolphins defense, so you can just kind of get away from the Chuba stuff, I don't think that's crazy. But
that could be
God.
good.
Is it me? What? How the fuck did you build a lineup? I feel like I haven't been gone that long. Jesus Christ!
We were kind of rapid firing.
Oh, you want to? Which defense do you want to go with? I don't really care.
I was gonna say this one Dolphins, and then we see what Gov thinks about it. We're just gonna see what you want. What? Just a minute.
I was giving Gov a chance to build a lineup.
Well, you guys just built the lineup. I didn't even get a chance to look at.
Yeah, look at the man look at it.
I am trying to keep track of these. Like, remember, I throw these in the dime to see how they do against each other. I gotta know what the lineup is.
I got you.
I didn't even get a second to look. Good Lord, Logan. Like, I think
now you know how it feels to be cut off.
I'm sorry I keep having to get up, but like we probably need to like make this the last lineup of the night, to be honest. So like let's finish it.
We can definitely do that.
Yeah.
This is the lineup.
Okay, so Minshew, Mostert, Mixon. Gonna have more fucking M names? Okay. More. Oh, I was kidding. Collins, Downs, Ingram, Brown. I was kidding. Jeez. Okay. I like the stack. It's not one of my favorite games,
the core,
but it's getting there.
The core. Go ahead, tell them the core, Evan.
My core was Nico Collins, DJ Moore, and Raheem Mostert.
Okay. Chalkiest of chalk. And then two
guys.
So
we want to get off it.
And then two guys. Well, no, he did it himself. Like chalkiest of chalk and two guys no one's playing in DJ Moore and Nico Collins.
Bingo.
Why is DJ Moore not being played?
Because no one's playing that Chicago game. Outside of Addison, no one's 10%.
I think they're stupid if they're not playing that game, but okay.
Agreed.
There's games with better totals. It's like one of like 6 games that are like 43, 44. Like there's nothing. And it's one of 3 that actually might have rain and weather, whether that affects it at all. So like yeah, it looks of all the 44-point games, it's probably one of the bottom 3, to be honest.
Donnie,
I thought early in the week it would be the best game too. So I'm with
Donnie, did you know that Minshew actually throws to Downs more than Richardson has? So I don't know if he did it on purpose, but like Downs has seen his most targets with Minshew.
Honestly, I just kind of got to Minshew after you put Ingram in there. I knew his price was solid.
It's just funny because Downs has exploded, like not exploded, but had his best games with Minshew. Now,
Gov, what would you change about this personally? I want to see what Gov wants to change.
as much as I don't really, actually,
you get one free change that isn't the core. You said you weren't here for the build.
Flip Mixon and St. Brown with Montgomery and Kamara.
That sounds fair because I was both Logan my pick.
that's not,
That's one pick from each. So let's do that.
It's a 2v2, basically.
Kamara and who?
Kamara and Montgomery.
Makes sense. I like Kamara.
So Montgomery instead of St. Brown.
I like this more.
Salary to go up to Kamara, who correlates with Nico.
Yeah,
I like this more.
yeah, that's fair. Now, since you got to go, we could end it here, but if you want to go with your core, you could give the people at least your core of how you.
Yeah, I didn't really have a core. I was more on remember,
enough.
I wanted to do the fade the chalk lineup, which we might have to do next week. But
right, we can definitely do that next week. I'll put that on top. But I just want to give the people an idea of what your core was if you had one. But
I personally don't think I have a core this week, to be honest.
But I also don't want to do that. I don't want to.
I've been looking that's probably where I need to take some time when I get a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, 12:30 at night is when I have crap to do now, and it's fun. So I really need to take because right now my focus is on who do I not want to play. That's all I can think about.
Okay,
God, I don't want to play him. God, I don't want to play that. I don't have I cannot say a specific guy I want to play and am trying to not play in every lineup. There's not a dude like that this week.
I agree. The only one that's even close would be Chase, honestly.
I'm not even on that game. It's another week where I might full fade the Cincy game, and if he goes for 50, I'm fucked.
I would have been
I'll be fucked.
I would have been all over Chase, but with Higgins in, I'm scared off the Chase thing. With that being said, though, I think this was a good show. We were probably the shortest show, but I thought we packed in a lot there.
An hour and 40 is not bad.
Right, but that's under for us. That's saying something. But I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys did too. I hope you've learned something. And thanks for all the comments. Keep them coming, even if it's one or two or lineup builders. Anything we can do to help. We appreciate the community. Again, like and subscribe. It goes a long way. One like, one subscribe. You never know who that reaches, who that helps. We could, crown some winners in this before you know it. So thanks, guys. Have a good night. Thanks for joining me.
Keep the faith, go Bears.
Peace out, everyone.